What up guys, and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm gonna work on the Rockscape for my Nuvo 30 long. So first of all, the rock I'm using is, I'm not sure what it is, but it's a dry rock I got from my LFS, and it's like a tan color, and it has like splotches of like pink or purple. And I have like about 25 pounds that I'm gonna be using. Usually I guess the rule is 1 pound per gallon, which would be 30 since it's a 30 gallon, but I feel like that's gonna be a lot of rock, so I'm gonna use just a tiny bit less rock. And the way I'm gonna be doing it is I marked off the size of the tank on this piece of cardboard, which is it's not the exact measurement, but it's like a little estimate. It's 35 and a half in length, and then 10 and a half in width. And then the height to the overflow, what I'm using is I stacked a couple pieces of wood so I could see like around what the height of the overflow is, which is 10 and a half, which that's what that measures. So the few things I learned from my first tank on doing the Aquascape, which I didn't know before I set it up, but now I know, is you don't have to conform to the shapes you get at your LFS. Let's say I wanted a smaller piece. The way I could do that is with a screwdriver or something pointy. I can just put it right there, and then use a hammer to hammer it in, and it should break into smaller pieces, and then you could use those smaller pieces to create different things. And then the second thing is when doing your Rockscape, you kind of want levels. You like on this first example, you don't want to do your Aquascape like this. If you can see, this is a straight tower, and that's not what you want to do, because then if let's say you put a piece of coral right here, it's gonna shade all the bottom pieces, and it's also kind of hard to put pieces on the bottom. What you kind of want to do is something like this that has levels. Let's say your lower light corals go on this first level, and then something else that requires more light goes on this top level, and then you could use other smaller pieces to make it a little higher, and that way the coral that's on this little rock won't shade the corals that are here. So that's what you want to do. You don't want to do this towers. You want nice levels. And then the last thing I learned is you want to leave a space a couple inches from the glass to your Rockscape, and also from the back and from all the other sides. That way it'll be easy to clean the glass or the back if you need to clean the back. You don't want it put your rocks right beside the glass, because then you won't be able to clean it. So other than that, those are a couple tips that you could use when doing your Rockscape. And for my sand, I'm gonna be using this Carib Sea Fiji Pink, which is kind of a bigger grain size. That way I can have a lot of flow in the tank, because I'm planning doing a mixed reef. This is a 20-pound bag. I don't want to have a big a thick sand bed, That's why I only got a 20 bag. I'm not sure if it'll be enough. Hopefully it is. And then I'm gonna be using this Aquaforest Stone Fix, which is just basically like a cement. So I could be, so I can glue or stick all the pieces of rock together. Because what I want to do is, I want to have either 2 or like 3 structures stuck together. That way it'll be easier to, let's say in the future I need to move the tank or something, it's gonna be easier for me to just take the big piece of rock instead of having to take each individual rock and then having the trouble of trying to put it back together how you had it. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. So I'm kind of just playing around with the shapes. This isn't final, but also what I want to do is I don't want it, basically this is the height of the overflow, and I don't want the rock extending too far up, because since I'm doing a mixed reef, I want to have SPS and give them enough room to expand upwards. So I don't want the rock sticking out of the water or like too close to the top of the water, because then all the SPS won't have room to grow. And also, like on this little rock, what I want to do is I want to put small pieces like this. Let's see if I can to create like little peaks where I can put a frag of any SPS on here. That's kind of what I'm going for. These are leftover rock I had from my other build. That's why they're a different color. I may not even use these, but yeah. So this is what I got so far, and I think I'm liking this a lot. You can see I did not use all the rock. Right now I'm breaking small pieces so I can use, because like I said, I kind of want small peaks so I can put glue them on there and put a piece of Aquapora on there, since I'm planning on making this a mixed reef. But yeah, right now I'm just I think I'm happy with this shape, and I'm just gonna use Stone Fix to cement them together. So yeah, I'll get into doing that. So basically with this, I'm not sure if it has the instructions or not, but I'm just gonna wing it. And what you don't want to mix a whole bunch of it at one time. So what I did is I got a styrofoam cup, or you could get any type of cup, but just put some in here and then slowly pour water in there. I'm not sure how much water you need, but you want it like a pasty consistency. So like if you put too much water, maybe put a little more of cement, or if you don't put enough water, just add a little more water. So this is the consistency I got. I think this is gonna work. And what I got is one of those cake decoration bags, or you could use a Ziploc bag, it don't matter. And then I just cut a little hole at the end, and I feel like this will help me get into like the little nooks and crannies on the rock, because it does have a lot. So everything before this was before my accident, and when I was able to finish, I actually didn't record, but I'm gonna talk about what it was like using the product Stone Fix. As you can see, that small seam did end up breaking because I made the mistake of whenever I was setting up the tank, I put in the sand first, and when I was wiggling in the rock, it ended up breaking. But other than that, everything else is intact and strong. I think I just didn't put enough cement around it. I really do love the product, and I have so much left of it, which is a good thing, because if in the future I have another project, that I'll be sure using that. Now, as for using the actual product, the stuff does dry really fast, like in seconds, so you can't really make large batches of it. The cake decorating bag technique didn't work for me, but I left the clip in there because some people actually use that trick. And using just the spoon didn't seem as accurate for me. So what I did and what I thought worked best was only making a spoonful of the product at a time, getting my hands a little wet, and moving the Stone Fix in one hand as if it were Play-Doh or clay, then just putting it where two rocks meet. To me, it felt like as long as my hands had a little moisture and I didn't stop moving it in my hands, it didn't seem to dry fast. Just know it's okay to use a lot, and make sure to cover all around where the two rocks meet, and you'll have a stable structure. So that's it for the video. I know I'm not the most experienced reefer, and this is only my second tank, but I wanted to document everything I did on my new build. And maybe if you happen to stumble upon this video, it may help you. Because when I first set up my Nuvo 10, I didn't know anything about rockscaping. I just placed two boulders, and even when I redid it, I wasn't happy with it. So don't start your tank unless you're truly happy with the rockscape, because even if you can redo it, it's way harder when there's water in it. Well, that's it for the video. I hope something helped, and I'll see you on the next one.